Howdy there, Partnoids, and welcome to the third episode of Building the Batcave. It is good to be back, ready to make videos once again. So, yeah, for the guys that kind of don't know what this is, I just kind of take you through what I did in the Batcave and where we're kind of up to now. So there's been 2 episodes before which have kind of detailed where I got to, and now that I've released kind of the rest of the cave, I'll take you through it and just try and explain at least, you know, in general terms what's going on redstone wise. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, let's start with the main chamber. Obviously we've got this little old 3x3 which I've done a tutorial on already, so anybody that's interested in building that, I will put the link in the description for you guys. Now, yeah, with the main chamber, there's only really 2 things, which is the lighting system and then the clock, which I believe was broken when I first put the download up, which was useful. So that's been fixed now. And yeah, it's in-game time, and it just counts 3 minutes of in-game time every 25 ticks. And it's a 12-hour clock, so this is the PM indicator here when that turns on. It's PM. So, that's now fixed for you guys to check out, and I'll show you the redstone in a minute. But first of all, we've got our lighting system, which is just basically a double piston extender, and then a little bit of extra circuitry to bring it in flush when you send it up. So when you send it away, it's gonna pull in, and then as you can see there, it just sits flush with a stone block. And then when you turn it on, it drops the light down like that. So that's set up around the room. And then obviously we've got this flooring here. Now, I know people kind of saying that piston lighting systems are dead because lamps, you know, are kind of ES mode. Which is certainly true in a way, but at the same time it's nowhere near as fun just to turn a lamp on with a switch, because it's ease. So, yeah, it came up with a new compact design. Obviously this is not new, the idea of having drop lighting, but we're going to take a quick look at it. So essentially what you've got now, this is by no means compact. Yeah, I've got a better design already, so we'll have that in the tutorial. But what you've essentially got is a double piston extender facing downwards, and then you've got these block swappers here. So if I give you an example of what happens, if I can actually get there in time, let's do that again. So it comes up, swaps it out, and then it pushes 2 down for the light to be on, and then it retracts in, pushes across, and then it only has this outputting and pushing this stone block down. So it's, you know, once you kind of see how this is built up, it's not, you know, rocket surgery. So I'll definitely do a tutorial on that with the new design, which is smaller than this one. This toggle here is completely unnecessary for the whole thing, so I've taken that out. But as far as the rig goes, yeah, it's just loads of them strung together, all attached to that one lever. Bit chaotic in here, but because the heights are so different, I couldn't be bothered to make it nice and tidy. I just thought I'd get it done. So that's that one. And then, I mean, the floor lighting is, again, pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing, you know, incredible about it. It's just repeaters set a 1-tick delay, as you can see here. So coming out the center, you've got 1 tick there, 2 ticks, 3. So I'll give you a quick example. Turn that off, and you'll see that it kind of just runs round like that, you know, which kind of gives a slick little effect, which I thought was quite nice. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can work that out. So that's that. Now let's take a quick look at the clock. Right, so let's take a little hop in here. Now again, this is, I've already done a tutorial on kind of how to build a clock like this. This is, you know, not the smallest in the game, but the most important thing I felt was to have a really nice close display out here. There's only one block in between, you know, each kind of bit of information. So I wanted that rather than super small back here. As long as the principles were there, it wouldn't matter. So I've done this. So the plugging into the back of the 7 segments is a little bit, you know, messy, but these are just the piston arrays which I used for the tutorial and stuff like that. I'm not happy yet with the new super compact designs because I like the screen to look good, and I just didn't think that, you know, it did without doing it this way. So I took the easy option in that sense, and this is that. So for anyone that has never seen a piston array, all you're doing is essentially rotating these orange and glass blocks here round every time, as that just did there. Let's go and watch this one. So as you can see, it's rotating round, and then you're just reading the information off here to your 7 segment displays out the front. This is, you know, super common now. Everybody's worked out that, you know, the piston arrays are the way forwards because you can, you know, hold so much information in such a small space, relatively speaking. So that's the clock, and then I've got this AND gate here, this orange line that runs all the way over to the light here, output for the AM PM thing. And that's about it, really. I will put a link in the description to the tutorial on how to build this if you want to kind of look at the logic, because I'm not sure if that clock works now in the new updates, because I made it quite a long time ago. I'll probably bring out a new one with the much smaller designs that are around now, provided I can get the display to tick over and to carry correctly, because with the smaller designs I've noticed that they don't carry instantly because you can't put these delays in because there's not enough room. So I'll see what I can do with that, but yeah, that'll definitely be somewhere in the future. Cool, so let's go and have a look at the living quarters. Right then, now the living quarters. So people were asking me how to activate this in the comments. The button is here, and essentially you get that action. Again, you know, it's pretty simple. There's nothing crazy going on there. It's just timings just coming off a toggle, and that's it really. So all I've got is the bed gets revealed, the lights turn on, this enchanting sort of area pops up, and then what is an informal fridge appears. A few pork chops in there. So that was just a novelty thing. I kind of added this in on a whim really, but I wanted somewhere to link into the potion room, so I use this to do that. So let's just have a quick look at what goes on down here. So the switch, the button comes through here again into RT flip-flop, and that just toggles on everything. So this here is the enchanting bit, which just goes around here. Again, a bit like the lights in the main chamber, just at a delay, 1 tick delay each, so that's why it goes, kind of builds itself round, as it were. Then here again attached, this is the bed area that gets revealed, and then the fridge is up just around here in this bit, so this gets powered and releases the pistons for what is the fridge. So that's that, and then really the kind of main reason to have this room is, if I can get back out, there it is. Yeah, the main reason to have this room is for the entrance to the potion room, which, as I demonstrated, is by using this bud switch, which opens that up, gives us a cookie, 3x3 door, and then we're in the potion lab, as it were. Now, I was quite pleased with it as a set piece. I think with the stairs coming up, it was quite nice just to be able to run straight through. Everything opens for you, and you're ready to make potions. So yeah, let's have a little look at how that works. Obviously, for the guys that don't know what a bud switch is, it basically works on, I'll just give you another example. When you update a block next to the switch, it pushes a piston out, which then you can take a redstone signal from, which you can then attach to, you know, a plethora of things, including secret doors, 3x3 doors, potion labs, cookie dispensers, whatever you want. So obviously I've done tutorials on this as well, so you know, most of you guys are going to know what I'm going on about. If not, check the tutorial out. Again, I'll link it. So this is the bud up here, the block being next to this. Below that, this then gets pushed out in front here, comes down into this T flip-flop, blah blah blah. This is the dispenser. As you can see, it's on, so it dispensed the cookie when I open the door. Then this gets unpowered here, and this is the kind of all the pistons for the potion room that get pulled down to reveal the brewing stands, and pushes up the block in the middle, and also opens this, which is a 3x3 door in the middle. So yeah, it's just a bud switch attached to 3 separate things basically, of which all work in succession. So that's how you kind of get that thing going on. So let's go and have a look in the potion room. I can't bother to fill that up. Right. So cool. The kind of idea with this was obviously you would just press a button and you'd get whatever that kind of brewing stand had marked. So that was obviously a potion of regen, and then you can just shove it in there. And then also to have the variables, so if you wanted to brew, you know, 3 potions at once, you'd pull this and you get 3 bottles with it, and so forth. And then you've got all the other options, so if you want to add splash, increase potency and duration, and then if you want to corrupt the effect, you pull this one up here, and it'll dispense the item corresponding to what you need. Now, let's just have a quick look how she works. Obviously, each button here, so this yellow one, red, orange, green, and so forth round, they all come up to the dispensers in the center here, and each one of those, this torch will power all 3 of these dispensers. So each one has its own glass bottle dispenser. Then you've got your nether wart, obviously, to make the potion usable, and then whatever the extra ingredient is to make that potion into the desired one. So you've got those in there, and then when you want to add in the extra things, so the 2 glass bottles that you can have extra, gunpowder for splash, and all that jazz, fermented spider eye, redstone and stuff, you essentially pull the levers, which then come up here, and just use these as a transistor, which kind of just sits in there and waits for a signal to come through here, which comes from any button push. So all this black line is linked to every button. You've pulled your lever to say indicate that you want the 2 extra glass bottles, so that's going to pull this, push this out, and then whenever the black line is activated, it's going to come all the way up here, and it's going to be able to pass through this block, and it's going to give you the 2 extra bottles. So that's how that works. Now, this is not optimized, again, in the same way that it could be. I'm going to do a tutorial on this, except the design is going to be quite a lot different. I've already started work on it. It's a lot cleaner, smaller, just generally better. So when I do that, you can expect something that isn't quite as stream of consciousness as this. So yeah, I mean, again, this is, you know, not complicated redstone in here. The other 2 features are the kind of slightly more advanced ones, whereas everything you've kind of seen so far is not, you know, it's not really difficult. It's just fairly cool to get the effect, and, you know, you might actually be able to incorporate it into a survival game, whereas the other 2 are kind of a bit unrealistic. So yeah, that's that basically, and obviously this just dispenses straight out here, so all the dispensers are in line like that, and they just come down and they fall onto this, which gets pushed out. Now, somebody said obviously I could just have water in there like I have around here, so you can fill up your bottles here rather than using the cauldrons, but I just thought the cauldrons looked nice, so that's what I added basically. So that's going to be it for this episode, otherwise it's going to go on for ages. So in the next one I'll explain the 2 big projects that took up all the time, because these, you know, quick to get down, whereas the armory in there, and then obviously this thing, whatever it is that just came out of my brain, this is obviously a lot more going on, so it will take me quite a while to explain, so I'm going to put that in another episode, I think, just to keep it tidy. So cool, hopefully that at least shows you guys a little bit about what I did just for the basics. And oh, I have got one other thing to mention. We've got the what's her name? I've got the zipper elevator that you saw at the end of the showcase video. That's on this side, so again it's just a bud switch with our secret door, and then the zipper here, so this just takes you to the surface basically. Fairly fast, a little bit of a spin out. Not the smoothest action in the world, but that's what zippers are like. So yeah, that's that, and that's up and down, although I think the down function at the bottom I didn't wire in, so I'll have to do that as well and update the save. There's you know, a few things in the build that still need sorting out, so I'm just getting around to that as and when, but got big plans for lots of new videos, so got to get on with that as well. And I'll get the 4th episode of building the Batcave up to explain the other 2 main circuits for you guys, either tomorrow or Thursday hopefully. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.